Hi, as always on the EEVblog, I'm keeping you up to date on the latest solar innovation technology. Let's check it out. We've got an absolute doozy for you today. It's in Hackaday. Look at this. New solar spheres claim to be better than solar panels. Not just better, but like 60 times better. I mean, it's just everywhere. Look at this. Quantum leap in solar technology with WAVJA, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the Photon Energy System. The Photon Energy System allegedly generates 60 times more power than solar panels. May power an electric car without a battery. Tiny spheres, big energy, PV balls challenge solar panel tech. Oh, it's all happening. Look at these balls. The future of solar energy, harnessing light with innovative photon energy spheres. Oh man. Tech company unveils tiny spheres that outperform solar panels using both sun and artificial light, and the company says it could hit 60 times the current capacity. It revolutionizes how we harness sunlight. These balls, look at them. Absolutely amazing. I haven't seen balls like this in a long time. Hang on, the project seems a bit weak, but it's not the first time a company has presented this kind of alternative. Do we have a skeptic? Surely not. The company, which was established in 2022 by entrepreneur San Chen, was developed what he calls a Photon Energy System, the PES. Under this name, WAVJA created a system of spheres with different layers that direct the ambient light available outside to a silicon converter inside, which converts photons into electricity. And here's their test setup here, and they can range from 1 to 4 inches inside. That's some pretty big balls. It's on Yahoo Tech, but most importantly, it's on Hackaday. Hackaday, a traditionally trustworthy tech news source here, so I absolutely believe it. And I've developed my own one, so we're going to verify this. In fact, it's pretty impressive. Wait until you see it. So WAVJA are going to heal the Earth. We're going to help us change the Earth. Look at this. Look at these balls. Amplifying power output about 20 times. There's the 20. I don't know where the 60 came from. Compared to conventional solar panels, provide a 24-hour power supply. They must have the balls must have storage, and they're pollution-free. Check it out. They have expertise. They have innovative design. We'll see what they can power, what these things can power, but it's an absolute win-win. And look at this hard-hitting team here that they've put this together. This has got winner written all over it. And look, they even had a proper launch event for this thing. Wow, look at this. Man, all the press must have turned out and they demonstrated this. There's absolutely no doubt about that it works. So, yeah, I've been busy. I'm going to verify it. Let's go. All right, I've been hard at work in the EEVblog labs for the last couple of weeks here, trying to duplicate their technology here. But not only have I duplicated, I've improved upon it by like 5 times improvement over what they've got. Look at this. I call this the Photon Irradiance Solar System, or PISS. Now, they're just using polyangular specular structure sphere according to their patent, but I'm using a dysdiaconous tricontohedron sphere here, and I found it works remarkably better. And I've got a improved focusing lens system. Now, they claim that their balls are either coated with or manufactured from nickel, manganese, cobalt, or NMC. It's not quite clear in the patent, but that's what they mention. And then they mention silicon carbide and tungsten trioxide, but I tried those and I didn't get nearly the performance out of it I was expecting. But I've used amorphous selenide technology in here, and I've also got internal specular coating, just like they've got as well. But I found the amorphous selenide really did the trick. And just like in their experiment, I'm using a power meter here and just in my ambient lab light, and I haven't even turned on like my main studio lights next to the camera here, I'm getting a power output of 2.2. They were only getting 0.6 as a background, and they were using 9. So that only gives them a power output of 0.066 per sphere. Whereas look, I've only got 1 sphere here. That's all I manufactured, and I'm getting a power output of 2.2. And there's absolutely no trickery whatsoever going on here, right? I've just got the power output of my sphere going into my power meter, and I'm getting 2.2 power output. Now, if I get my torch here and I shine it on top, I get, it goes up to 2.8 here, so I don't get the improvement from 0.6 ambient to 4.5 ambient that they get. So mine is a flatter response than their one, but look, I mean, even with my hands coupled over this, I still get 1.3. Check this out, right? I can even put a coffee cup over this. Look, look, look. And I'm still getting about the same, a little bit more than what power output than what they got, and it's covered here. I mean, I can turn the studio lights, like just the overhead lights off, and it's going down. And if I turn the backlight on here and I turn the main lab lights off, okay, it's dropped once I turn them all off. But isn't that remarkable? Absolutely amazing technology. The Photon Irradiance Solar System. So shining the torch on top like that, I am at least 5 times higher power output than their spheres. So forget this Photon Energy System. The PISS, the Photon Irradiance Solar System, is where it's at. This is going to take the market by storm. So leave it in the comments down below. Should I go to Kickstarter with this, or should I go for the huge valuation on Start Engine and get like seed funding for this? Because, well, like it's at least 5 times better than their Photon Energy System. It can't be beat. Unbelievable. I think I've cracked it. So once again, it's not clear, but they seem to use tungsten trioxide or silicon carbide as the specular reflective material inside here. I found that didn't work nearly as well, so I've used brass. So I've got brass balls here. Works fantastic. What's that you can smell? Yeah, bullshit. This is some grade A bullshit. I can't believe they're actually doing this. This is one of the most blazoned smelling bullshit devices I've ever seen. This is absolutely remarkable. And we've got video, we've got the patent as well, which you'll take a look at. And this is just, come on. They almost have to be taking the piss. Get it? Mirror week. There's basically nothing on their website except what we've seen, some profiles of the team, and also they've got a video on YouTube, but basically that's about it. The latest update is down here, and this is their video. So let's watch it, shall we? And it's even been spruiked on, you know, these supposed news YouTube channels, 200 times more efficient. Oh, look, we're going to have drones and 20 times the power output. And this one here, this dude from Straight Arrow News, who'll give you the breakdown of, you know, it's just their marketing spiel and crap. So anyway, let's watch their actual video, shall we? So this is straight from the horse's mouth. Sorry I've got to bore you with this, but who knows? It might just vanish one day. At least we have a record of what's going on here. So let's play it and we'll critique it as we go along.
My name is Shireen Chen, and I am
the
Executive Director of WAVJA USA.
Executive Director, right? So she's got to know what she's on about in terms of tech, in terms of her balls here.
Introduce
So
to you
let's
today
have a look.
the future of green technology brought to you by WAVJA.
WAVJA.
Our commitment to innovation.
Oh, AI. You've got to have AI these days to get the funding. Super important. So yeah, they've got that stock photo from somewhere because I don't think that chip's inside their balls
Drives us
or their little base unit.
to create transformative solutions.
Transformative
Such
solutions.
breakthrough.
Oh, by the way, get your Wankwork bingo card out because it may be full in no time. They will claim that it's all, we'll look in the patent, they'll claim it's all this whiz-bang material, but it's just a 3D printed material in 2 halves. Oh, I forgot to mention, my one is in a single sphere, so you get greater power output.
Energy System, PES.
PES.
PES stands for Photon Energy System.
Photon Energy System.
It revolutionizes how we harness sunlight.
Revolutionary.
We've
Look at
engineered
this.
a system that generates remarkable luminosity by...
It generates luminosity. It generates, how does it generate luminosity? Does it emit light? Does it emit photons? Thought it was supposed to capture them.
utilizing multiple layers of
Multiple
cutting-edge materials.
Because you don't want a single layer of cutting-edge material, you want multiple layers. That's the ticket, laddie.
And specialized spheres.
Specialized spheres. Look at this. Oh, that dot on the top's got to do something important.
This luminosity is then seamlessly converted into electricity.
So now they're talking about this luminosity, right? And now how it's converting. Is it generating luminosity or is it capturing luminosity? I don't know. I'm confused.
Converted into electricity using our proprietary technology. This luminosity is then seamlessly converted into electricity using our proprietary technology.
What's in the box?
Compared
This is the ridiculous claims, right?
PES is nearly
this is
30
ridiculous.
times
30 times smaller. Yeah, okay, it's smaller. I'll give them that. Tick. Correct.
smaller and generates 7.5 times.
7 times 5, right, so the Hackaday article is correct, 7.5 times. Don't know whether 20, oh, that's right, they've got different generations. But this particular generation, this is Gen 1. I think they're even talking about Gen 3 now.
Times the output.
Get the confuser out, 30 times 7.5, that's 225 times better than a traditional solar panel, which are already, you know, like 23% efficient for an average one. You can get them much higher, but sooner or later, you're going to reach the Schottky limit of solar panels, and then you cannot beat the laws of physics, Captain. So if you don't already know, this is how solar panels work. The sun produces roughly, which is, this is the figure, like the standardized industry figure they use, 1,000 watts per square meter of irradiance from the sun. And that's what you capture. So if you've got a solar panel that's 1 square meter in size, it can theoretically capture, you know, on a perfect solar irradiance day, it can capture 1,000 watts. But because your typical, you know, residential commercial solar panel might be like 23% efficient, you're only going to get 230 watts out of that. That's why, like, say, a residential 440 watt panel is bigger than a square meter, because you can't capture 100% of the light, because that's above the Schottky limit and that beats the laws of physics. And with solar, it's all about capture area. With a regular solar panel, your capture area is basically 100% minus, you know, a few of the connecting wires and stuff like that, but, you know, near enough. So you're capturing that. If you've got a 1 square meter solar panel, you're basically capturing 1 square meter of that energy, okay, that 1,000 watts per square meter irradiance from the sun. But when you've got these balls, the only thing you're going to be able to, the only capture area you've got is with these specialized spheres, is this tiny capture area on top, unless the balls are like, you know, translucent and they let some of the light in. But no, this is the special lensing system that they're supposed to have, which then bounces around the light inside. So if it bounces around inside, as we'll see, and it says in the pattern, then it obviously can't come in through the outside sphere of the ball. So it's got to go through this tiny lens. So your capture area is like, right? Capture area of half a bee's dick, and they claim it's like 30 times, 7.5 times more powerful, or up to 20 times more powerful, whatever it is they're saying, claiming this week. It's ridiculous. It's all about capture area. You literally, it doesn't matter what whiz-bang technology you put inside your balls here, you've only got that capture area. You can only capture that tiny area. I'll leave you to do the maths down below of what, you know, that little diameter, and they've got 9 of them in that area is, and how much of the energy they're just absolutely wasting.
And it is over 200
times more efficient. That's where they got the 220 from. I'm sorry, but this is over unity, okay? It's producing more power out than what you put in. It's just, come on, seriously. How can you take this seriously? This is ridiculous. So this is their first generation balls.
20 times more powerful.
20 times more powerful.
And then our third generation PES,
that's the third gen.
Is 60 times more powerful.
60 times more powerful.
Similarly sized.
I mean, come on. How can anyone, let alone like Hackaday, take this seriously? All these other wanky news outlets just take the copy, which comes from Newswire or wherever. You know, this is what these startup companies do. They just whack the fancy sounding press release onto the Newswire system or whatever news aggregator site is out there with some more fancy material and the videos and the photos and stuff. And then all the news agencies around the world just pick up on it and go, oh yeah, this is really exciting. Oh, I've got to publish this.
Solar panel. PES can efficiently operate for 24 hours.
The 3D printed balls efficiently operate for 24 hours. What the heck does that mean? It absorbs the light and then it traps it in there and it stores it? What the heck does that mean? They've got no data, they've got no nothing on this because they can't, because it's demonstrably a load of absolute bullshit.
That's PES apart. It is not just sunlight that powers PES.
It's not just sunlight. Hang on, it's not just sunlight.
It can also harness artificial light.
Artificial light, yeah, as can every other solar panel, just like I showed you.
LED lighting, and it ensures uninterrupted energy generation.
Uninterrupted energy generation, even when the lights are off? Really? You gonna claim that?
Most of all, the PES is not connected to a battery.
It's not connected to a battery, but as we'll see, they have to use a battery to actually power anything with it.
PES is actually a separate battery system.
It's a separate battery system. So they're claiming a battery is literally a storage device. So they're claiming that these balls store things. What is inside the box if it's not a battery? And is it inside the balls? Because that's what it makes it out to be in the patent. The magic is happening inside the ball, not inside the box.
Now, let's put PES to the test.
Let's test
Today
it.
we're showcasing our first generation prototype, a proof of concept already making waves.
It's already making
For
waves.
this demonstration, you can see our first
So here's their setup.
PES system,
First generation
including the spheres and the base, our
What does the base do? There's no information at all on the base.
artificial lights, and the power meter, which
Power meter. Do I have to say anything at all to the EEVblog audience? But for those, there might be Joe Average out there who does not watch the channel. Welcome, by the way. I do debunking videos among other electronics engineering and other stuff. This is not a power meter. That is demonstrably false. This is a multimeter, and as we'll see, our
it
output
is
reading.
important to note that the power meter
Power meter, she didn't misspeak, she said it again, a power meter. It is not a power meter, it's a multimeter, and it's measuring DC voltage. 0.6 volts here. It's not measuring power. It's just demonstrable bullshit.
will read 50% at the
It'll read 50%. What does 50% mean? 50% of what? Because later it shows 4.5 volts. So I don't know where the 1.2 volts is.
beginning of the demonstration
This is rubbish.
due to the ambient lighting in the room.
The ambient lighting, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it actually produces a voltage, just like my one does.
As we begin our demonstration, we charge the system with LED
Right, so they reckon that they charge it. So there's got to be some sort of energy storage. And if you read the patent, it implies it's inside the balls. But what do these giant bases do if they don't have a battery in there? Huh? What's the storage element? Might be a supercapacitor. Oh, even with graphene, maybe. Oh, that's a ticket.
flashlights. The next step is to charge the power bank.
Next step is to charge the power bank. Now here's where, they've already made technical mistakes in this by calling a multimeter a power meter. Okay, it does not measure power. And now they're saying that they're charging up this battery. How are they charging it? Are they charging it with the balls, or did they simply have it pre-charged from the wall or other USB outlet?
Though we use a power bank for this demonstration,
See, they're being careful about what they say here. Though we use a power bank for this demonstration. So they're using the power bank to actually power the tablet that they're going to do.
the battery can be connected and charged to the PES system.
It can be connected and charged. So they're not even demonstrating using the PES to charge the battery. They're just saying it can be. They're not actually demonstrating it here because they've already pre-charged the battery from the mains. It's just ridiculous. Let's listen to that again.
Though we use a power bank for this demonstration, the battery can be connected and charged to the PES system in various ways.
In various ways.
Compared to solar panels.
Compared to solar panels. How? There's no information on this. It's just complete gibberish. And you can see there that now, once they turn the lights on, it does jump up to 4.5 volts. And that's completely genuine, of course, because they have solar cells inside here. That's all they've got, solar cells inside here. And then it's just connected to this. It's just ridiculous. Come on. It gives out a voltage, but it's not capable of delivering anything but microwatts of power. I mean, it's milliwatts maybe.
PES boasts even greater capabilities, with an expanded array of spheres compared to solar panels. We can use the power bank to charge various devices, such as a tablet.
Yes, they're using the power bank. You notice, they literally said it. They're using the power bank to charge this. And then they just admitted before that they're not even charging the power bank with their photon energy system here. They just say it can, but they're not demonstrating it here. They're using just a power bank to power a tablet. They're demonstrating nothing here. It's like that meme. You've got nothing, nothing.
Nothing! You've got nothing! Nothing!
Looking ahead, our third generation PES boasts even greater
I want to speed this thing up.
With an expanded array of spheres and an improved base design. Imagine the possibilities with this compact 20 by 20 centimeter powerhouse.
Just imagine. Once again, just look at the tiny capture area of these tiny little lenses. You can't just magnify the energy. It doesn't do it. And like, oh, come on.
But how can PES be integrated into various fields? Picture this. The
This just
compact
jumps the
6
shark. Look at
centimeter
this.
PES system powering transportation applications like trucks or even a futuristic flying car designed to accommodate 4 passengers. And with just 2 PES systems, larger flying taxis could soar through the
humanity.
skies, all powered by clean, renewable energy.
No.
Our
No.
smaller 3 centimeter
No.
PES system
Oh.
is tailor-made to fuel smaller vehicles.
It's tailor-made to fuel smaller vehicles because it's got storage inside it. Look, they can just, what? That little sphere is inside there. Oh my God. Oh my God, just leave the jokes in the comments
Such
down
as
below.
electric bikes and delivery drones.
Delivery drone.
Unlike traditional charging methods,
So they've gone from spruiking a thing that just is 200 times more efficient than solar panels to something that has no capture area whatsoever to capture any solar energy, and it just has some magical storage woo-woo device in there that, you know, their magical silicon carbide technology or whatever it is. Nah.
PES system operates seamlessly without the need for frequent charging breaks. To our future, a larger PES system can power vehicles like electric trucks, or one of our favorite concepts, a cargo delivery drone. You're actually looking
Do I even have to insult anybody by getting the confuser out and trying to figure out how many of these balls you need with the tiny capture area here in there, or 9x9 array, or in their 3x3 array, or whatever it is? How many of those, how many, a million of those you need? Hundreds of thousands of those to get the peak power required to power the truck, and then you're supposed to stick them on top. I think they do actually show an image of that later.
favorite concepts, a cargo delivery drone.
A cargo delivery
You're
drone.
actually looking at a real-time current proof of concept that we're
You're actually looking at a real-time current proof of concept of these balls that are stuck onto a car and they are not connected. Did they drill a hole in the bonnet and did it go through? Assuming this is a real photo and not just photoshopped on there. It's not even connected up. A real proof of, well, maybe. Okay, it's a prototype system. They plug the cables in, they run them under the bonnet, and then they connect it to the fuel cell, which is not there. They just got a stock photo from Toyota. That looks like a Toyota fuel cell. And what?
working on, which is the PES system attached to a vehicle, an actual car. Right now, as you can see, there are actually altogether 20 balls on top of the hood.
20 balls.
When the final concept is going to be completed, we're actually probably going to have it inside the hood with a cover. And then you can see the battery fuel cell underneath. The final one is one of our favorites.
And now
it's
we got
the
a
energy
power hose.
management system. So the idea is that the PES will be located at one central location with a power bank. And then the power bank will be able to fuel an entire
What
neighborhood.
is this rubbish?
WAVJA is not just about innovation. We are about sustainability.
No, because they've got no
Unlike
innovation.
traditional
And
solar
I won't bore you
panels
with the rest.
offers
It's
pure
just
potential to
sustainability,
save.
net zero, ESG, wank, wank, wank. And then they wank on about, for like 30 seconds, about some, currents
Which is
and
about-
Atlantic currents or something, and how their system's going to save the planet. Give me a
The
break.
future of energy is bright, sustainable,
No,
and
it's not.
within reach.
You've got nothing.
Join us as we
total
redefine
bullshit.
what's possible.
You've got some
and
solar
pave
cells
the
in a
way
3D
for a
printed
cleaner,
cube.
greener tomorrow.
Sorry, sphere. That's just absolute utter garbage. It is demonstrable bullshit. And look, I'll link in the patent down below. Here it is. We'll go through it briefly, but this just blows my mind. It's San Chen, who is the founder. Here he is. So here is the CEO, San Chen. Oh yeah, we've got graphene. Look at this, graphene here. Well-known industrial designer who develops nanomaterials, laser energy transmission systems, generation ionosphere, communications technologies, 3D holographic cameras, he's an artist, screenwriter, he does art director, does everything. Unbelievable. And he's the founder of all these companies. Look at this. He has been in the media before. Look, he was jailed in 3 years for China for buying toy guns online. I guess, don't do that. He's a CEO of Keyloft, New York-based company that designs game apps and smartphones. First-person shooter game app. Anyone played Sans game? was even in the New York Times. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's a bummer. Being just for buying toy guns, that sucks. But now he's hit the big time with, coincidentally, she has the same last name, Esquire, here. Are they married or something? I don't know. She's the president and she's a co-founder of WAVJA. She's just got no technical things at all. Nope. Patrick Chew here has some technical chops. He should know better. Joseph Hugh, he's got some technical chops as well, so he should know better as well. Unbelievable. Power meter. So the patent reads, the abstract, a polyangular specular means mirrors, basically a reflective internal, mini structure comprises a faceted hollow sphere with an aperture and focusing lens within such aperture permitting sunlight to enter the interior of such faceted spheres. The facets are hexagonal and the inner surfaces are reflective, basically, such that light entering the sphere is reflected multiple times. Where have we seen this before? Oh, that's right. I've done a video on Tipper, the world's most efficient solar panels busted, that basically had this magical woo-woo lens on the top, this Fresnel lens on the top, and then a reflective thing on the bottom here. Sorry about my auto pop-up thing. And then the solar panels all around the outside, and it basically just bounced the energy around, and I busted that that's not possible. Because the light won't reflect off the solar panels, it'll just be wasted as heat. That was absolutely busted beyond belief, and they're doing, it sounds like they're doing the same thing here. Except not bouncing off the solar panels, although there's got to be a solar panel inside. How else are they going to collect it? The faceted surfaces include silicon carbide or tungsten trioxide responsive to a stimulation current? A stimulation current. We're not passing current through this? Do you mean a stimulation like photons, I guess? Anyway, the faceted surfaces may also comprise nickel, manganese, cobalt oxides, so NMC, and the interaction of such nickel, manganese, cobalt oxides with the reflected sunlight produces electrical potential suitable for powering devices. So, what? What sort of rubbish is this? NMC is a battery technology. Nickel, manganese, cobalt is battery technology. It's not like photon absorbing technology. And then to combine that with silicon carbide, what? Silicon carbide is used in like high-end transistors, but like tungsten trioxide, I don't know. Maybe Thunderfoot can shed some light on that one. But it's just word salad. Look at this. It's basically the same as the abstract, but it says the specular surfaces are reflecting the sunlight entering the faceted sphere a plurality of times whereby at least one of heat and electrical energy are produced. So it produces either heat or electrical energy. I think you want electrical energy? Producing heat is just waste heat. What do you do? Unless they've got some heat harvesting technology as well. This is all just gibberish. Then they mention their big balls here, and the polyangular specular mini structure wherein claim 1, wherein a plurality of power structures are arranged and interconnected in a suitable grid to form a battery for an electric vehicle? Okay, so you interconnect the balls, you wire them together in parallel series or whatever, I guess. And then the mini structure of claim 3, so the mini structure is the array of balls, I guess, wherein the array of mini structures are affixed to a panel and the output of the mini structures are fed into an interface for use with an electric vehicle battery. Why specifically an electric vehicle battery? Why not just, like, why are they putting a specific application in here? I don't know. Claim then it's also can go into portable electronic devices, so they're claiming specific things. I don't get the point. Then they mention more applications like smart glasses, smartphones, drones, and residential homes. Like, what? The polyangular specular mini structures, they just love these polyangular specular mini structures, wherein the outer surfaces of such facets comprising the outer surface, so the outer surface of the sphere comprising oxides of at least 1 lithium, nickel, manganese, and cobalt. So NMC, which goes into battery, lithium batteries. And they're making their spheres out of that? It just looks like 3D printed material. What? This is rubbish. So the outer surface is NMC, and now they're saying the facets are composed, so I guess the material itself, not just coded on the outside, at least one material selected from the group comprising of quartz, silica sand, tungsten trioxide, silicon carbide, single crystal silicon, and silicon dioxide. This is just scientific word salad. What the heck? And then they're talking about them combined together at a suitable temperature into glass, glue, liquor, to which the silicon carbide, the crystal sand, and the silicon dioxide are added to the glass liquor as additives in the liquid state, the facets comprising the glue glass and the additives upon cooling thereof. It doesn't look like that. I mean, check it out. These just look like 3D printed balls. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a material scientist. The facets comprise a significant amount of tungsten trioxide to cause ion emission in response to stimulation of the tungsten trioxide with a stimulation current of electricity. Where's the electricity coming from? I don't get it. I thought, the photons producing the stimulation current? I don't get it. But once again, I'm not a material scientist, so leave it in the comments down below. And this is just ridiculous. As of claim 10, wherein the stimulation current has a value of 4 amp hours. Not only is that a very specific number, but 4 amp hours is not a stimulation current. Amp hours, the unit amp hours is an energy. I know, I have the amp hour radio show. What? Not any, nothing in any of their material does it show that well, let's assume it's 4 amps. Let's assume that they've got that, they made a mistake in their patent application and it's actually 4 amps here. Even if you had 4 amps, where in the video or any of their other material does it show them passing 4 amps of current? What, it's going to pass 4 amps of current through the material to do its magic woo-woo thing? I don't get it. In response to the stimulation current, to reflect the ion emission until an electric generation threshold is reached, and wherein, upon reaching the electric generation threshold, the facets transmit light therethrough until the ion emission falls below the electric generation threshold, and within the facets generates supply electricity at greater amp hours than the stimulation current. At greater amp hours than the So the stimulation current, even though you can't have a current in amp hours, well, you can have it's 1 amp for an hour, but it's energy, it's units of energy. So are they saying that you feed like a current into it, like 1 amp, for example, into the material, and then it outputs greater amp hours? It's so greater energy than what you put in? Once again, this is over unity stuff. Like, why didn't the patent attorney just laugh this away? Sorry, we can't patent it. This is just over unity rubbish. I don't know. Am I reading it wrong? That's the only way I can read that. Further, comprising computer programming for controlling the stimulation current in terms of timing, amount, and duration in response to the generation of the supply electricity. So yeah, and nowhere in their video or anything else do they mention that you have to stimulate it with current. It's just turn it on, it generates current from the energy. What? Unless they think that you can store energy in the balls, but then this is all over the shop. This is terrible, Muriel. Oh, but this is an absolute doozy here. Look at this. Wherein the spheres comprise diameters selected from the group consisting of 6mm spheres, well, that's tiny, 1.2, 3, and 6 centimeter spheres, wherein the supply electricity for the 6mm spheres comprises respectively 10 kilowatts. 10 kilowatts for a 6mm sphere. What? And I guess the ones we're looking at are about 6, the ones they show in the video are about 6 centimeters. So are these 300 kilowatt? The supply electricity. Wherein the supply electricity, does that mean you supply 300 kilowatts to it? I don't think it's going to conduct anything, let alone dissipate 300 kilowatts. Or does it produce 300 kilowatts? Either way, this is utter garbage. Oh my goodness. They have a plurality of concentric layers formed by the layers wherein materials consist of a mixture of silicon carbide, single crystal silicon, silicon dioxide, all this stuff again, silver sulfide, silver nitrate. Have we heard those before? A method of manufacture. So is that their reflective material on the inside? I don't know, but what thing in this generates the current? I don't know. Make it stop, please. Comprise it melting quartz, silica stand. The resultant liquor to 3D printing apparatus. There you go. So they're using their proper material. Okay, right, so they're using their own filament. So they've got manufactured their own filament with this magic woo-woo material, and they heat it up, and that's how they've produced the 3D spheres. Forming an aperture in the sphere and affixing a plurality of mirrors selected to focus light beams on the aperture of the sphere. Right, so they, what? So they just have mirrors? They just mention mirrors. So they open up the two shells and they stick some mirrors around inside, and then, but where's the solar cell to collect the energy? I don't get it. If you've got mirrors on the inside reflecting the light around, how does the material on the outside do anything at all? I don't get it. Providing a unibody mold suitable for metallurgical processing. I don't know, leave it in the comments down below if you're a metallurgist and manufacturing materials specialist. Stainless outer mold, they're talking about the molds. So there you go, that's it. They're all the claims. Sorry I had to bore you with that, and then they just link in, oh, I'm not even gonna, no. Just no. And then I'll link in, here's the actual, here's the PDF download. I'll link in this one as well. So here it is. They've got the little diagram here of the ballsies. And it's a bit different. It's written in like the actual patent, you know, way with the numbers and everything. It's really annoying. Yeah. So they say it's a hollow interior and it's reflected multiple times by the interiorly oriented specular facet. So if it's reflected around, it's got to come out somewhere. Like an integrating sphere, which is how a big integrating sphere is how you measure the output, like the lumens output of a luminaire, a LED light, basically an LED bulb. For example, you stick it inside this integrating sphere, has a big reflective coating inside and bounces all around, and then it's due to the nature of the angles, it all comes out into the one sense, guaranteed to all come out in the one sensor. And that, so where's their panel? What's doing? Like, where does the light come out and how is it absorbed and how do they produce current? I don't get it. All I can think of is that they have a literal solar panel at the bottom of the cube and it bounces around and it lights up the solar panel. What else is there? Once again, they mention the 4 amp hours. Once again, they mention the 300 kilowatts, and it's just more of the same. Light fusion crystals configured to reflect and refract light in different ways. This is just... So here they're showing their figures of it all bouncing around inside. Okay, it comes in here. Okay, I assume that cone is coming in. Where does it go out? Do they connect electrodes to the magical woo-woo material? But then how does it get through the mirrors inside? Or is the internal coating, or they mention mirrors, but then they don't, what? No, like there's no output. There's no output. They've got a hole, it comes in, it bounces around, and what? What is that? Oh, I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, let it stop. Let it stop. Yeah, you're going to be able to power your calculator. That's about the only thing you're going to be able to power with this crap. Yeah, I am absolutely sure that this thing actually is outputting like the 0.6 volts here, and then like in ambient, and when you turn the lights on, it'll give you the 4.5 volts. I have absolutely no doubt it does that. But no. You cannot beat the laws of physics, Captain. This is the biggest load of bullshit I have seen. This is just ridiculous. This is just a power right there. Right off the bat, you don't take them seriously when they say this is the power meter and it's measuring 0.6 volts. Give me a break. We're going to power trucks and we're going to power mythical flying machines. Is it bigger bullshit than the Tipper one? And I think Tipper had more viability than this one. At least it had like real solar cells in there actually collecting the energy, and they admit that the battery powers the tablet. So they're not demonstrating anything. They're just demonstrating that it outputs not 0.6 volts and 4.5 volts when you put it in the sun. So anyway, this one's just going to die in the ass. They've got absolutely nothing. And it's all over Unity BS. As whenever you hear, oh, 5 times the output of a solar panel, you can't. You have a physical limitation of how much energy comes to a certain capture area, 1 square meter of capture area. Nominal 1,000 watts per square meter. Can they get more than that, Captain? Anyway, some whiz-bang new material that makes it all work somehow by passing 4 amp hours of stimulation current through it. Come on. Thoughts and comments down below, and as always, discuss on the EEVblog forum. All right, I'll do my bit for the planet and I'll give this technology away for free. So I'm going to reveal it here now. Here you go. It's a PLA ball with a lens stuck on top with some super glue and an amorphous solar cell that I got from an old Casio calculator that I used in one of my projects. So there you go, knock yourself out, get your 100 mil seed funding on Start Engine. Go for it. But of course, producing voltage is nothing because it's about the power that you produce. And no, this isn't a power meter, it's the BM235 multimeter. And we can plug current in there and we can measure the short circuit current. There you go, 0.5 milliamp. Yeah, knock yourself out.